Quake 4, what a absolute classic. I mean, look, let's go back to the old days. You had Doom, great. You had Wolfenstein, fantastic. But then you got Quake. And while, yes, Quake 1 was a more medieval, decrepit, gothic version of Doom, it was amazing with its maze-like levels and very Lovecraftian weapons and Lovecraftian monsters. It did so well. So then obviously we got a sequel. But the sequel went a completely different route. And this is what I love about the Quake series. Each game just is completely different. Quake 1, Gothic. Quake 2 is a more Starship Troopers, sci-fi, the Borg sort of mishmash of body horror, right? Quake 3, an arena shooter. And then you got Quake 4, which is a mix of obviously Quake 2, but more of the military fascinations and contemporaries that we got at the time in 2006, 2007-ish time frame. Legitimately good shit right there, 100%. The game has just done really, really well. And while yes, the game is a linear shooter based around the fun and fantastic sci-fi-ness that is Quake and a bit of Star Trek and all that, it just works. It still works. And to be fair, Quake 4 is a game that does not get the respect it deserves. And while we still don't even have a remaster of it, which we should, because the only way to get it pretty much on a 360 or PC, basically. And even with PC, I found a PC version from like my cache converters, and it had a hard time installing. I had to like torrent it just to get it to work properly. But I still have it on PC and Xbox because I love Quake 4. It is a forgotten gem, as a lot of the games I like to kind of make videos about usually are, but it's just, there's so much variety that doesn't get respected when it comes to Quake. Quake 4 starts like any fantastic sci-fi shooter does. In space, where you see a person and then they're basically disgustingly destroyed, and it looks amazing. This game is basically and very much inspired by Starship Troopers, and it really does a fantastic job of getting that kind of boots on the ground, roughnecks, you and your team surviving to get in there and destroy the enemy menace. It does a fantastic job, and it does some good variety as well. We get vehicle moments with mechs and tanks. We get a good variety of weapons. Now, in the gameplay, you're going to see, well, cheats of me having weapons at the time, which I shouldn't technically have, because, hey, the game has cheats. Remember cheats? Cheats were amazing, because unfortunately, when you beat the game, you can't kind of level select and go back with all of the weapons that you've unlocked by the end and all the mods, because throughout the game, you'll get given mods for certain guns. And these mods are great. These are fantastic, but unfortunately for the style of the time, it doesn't let you kind of jump back in and kind of enjoy itself. So cheats are a way to go. Good stuff. I enjoy it. Look, I've played this game so many times. I think cheats are a must-have for this game, especially if you start off from the beginning to the end. Just sometimes you just want to have the shotgun from the get-go, because the shotgun, it hits its mark 100%. Absolutely hits its mark, and it's so good. You want to just kick everybody's ass and go, "Hey, yo, man, you wanna fight me? Huh? Look at you big ass mother. You wanna fight me?" Pull out the shotgun and boom, right in the face, dead like a doorknob. Good shit. Like any game that gives me that ability to just jump in and give me a good shotgun and you just see chunks blow away, 10 out of 10, that makes me, oh, that makes me moist. Oh, that makes me, I think I need a cigarette. Sorry about that. When a game gives me a good shotgun, which the Quake games have always done, and even the Doom games, of course, I get a bit excited, because shotguns, from Doom 2's double-barreled super shotgun to basically any shotgun in any game that has that raspberry, when you just want to blow everything up, point-blank range, it just gets me going, man. I mean, this is why I still want a Soldier of Fortune remaster for consoles, because have you played the original Soldier of Fortune? That is a good shotgun, and Quake 4 is quite up there. Another thing that I loved about Quake 4 is, yeah, okay, look, graphically it is sensational, and it still holds up today. The Doom 3 engine is going at it and has been used extremely well in this instances. Why? You've got the sort of scary, atmospheric, and very sepulchral moments of the campaign where it really builds up very, very well in a way that most games don't even kind of attempt nowadays. But it can be a very slow burn sometimes, and then it can be a full-blown action sequence, and it really does a good juggle of the ups and downs that come with such a variety of gameplay elements and level design. I think it did a really good job. Now, my only downside really is the fact that it's a very linear game. Like at the time of contemporaries, it unfortunately is a bit of a linear one. And that's totally fine because there are moments where, you know, if you go looking around and exploring, you can get health and armor and ammo, which is good. It's just not like, oh, hey, if I go to this part of the level, open this door, and I go backtrack, I can then go through this door, go under here, and get a whole lot of cool stuff. That's not how this game unfortunately works. The game works quite in a very linear way where weapons will and mods and such will be given to you. It'll be upgraded in your as the story progresses, and the only thing you get off the beaten path is ammo health, which still works. Me personally thinks it should have gone a more non-contemporary at the time elements of level design, because to me a good game has the good level design. Look at Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Well, Doom 2016 I think has the better, more open levels than Doom Eternal, at least for the most part. Doom 2016 still, a game that's almost 10 years old, does a really good job because its level design is creative. It makes you want to explore, and it's not just a linear moment. It's a very big sandbox where you've got to go to multiple layers, look around, break stuff, and just really think about where to go. And I think that's kind of lost in a lot of games these days. And I think at the end, you can have a solid game, but that level design is the reason you keep coming back. I still play the original Doom 1 and 2, Quake 1 and 2, because those level designs were fantastic. They were maze-like at times. Like, look at Quake 2. The level design of Quake 2 was very maze-like, but also very linear. You had your objectives and you know where you had to go. But it had moments where you opened up and you could find and destroy walls and find these different weapons and ammo and health and everything like that. It really did a really good job. You had secret levels and such, which is still to this day perfect level design that I really hope one day we get back. And I think if you took the best elements of Quake 4 and gave it the best elements of Quake 1 and 2 in its level design and ferocity of how it played, you get a good mix. You'd have a fantastic game. And Quake 4 almost kind of hits that. Like I said, Quake 4 does allow you to somewhat maneuver in its levels to find hints of this and that and that and this to help you on your journey. But it's not as interesting as the old games, like such as Quake 2. But the one thing it does really well is the body horror. This is a body horror nightmare in the best way possible. 100%. It has destroyed Marines from violence past, from the war-torn elements of them fighting for their lives. They've got their heads blown off and their guts are out, and it's just disgustingly beautiful. You see them getting ripped apart throughout your time, being sawed up. You yourself get turned into a Strogg, which was a really good twist at the time, and it was really well done. You're literally laying there, getting destroyed and ripped apart and stabbed and prodded, and you come out of it a badass, right? Which is really good because that's when the game kind of goes back to a more old school way of play where you've got faster speed, your movement speed is completely faster, you can read kind of the environmental stuff of the Strogg and use their health terminals to get your health up, which is great. I believe you can hold more ammo, you can jump higher and stuff, so it kind of helped give a bit more extra boost to the gameplay. And one thing I really like, and this doesn't get really brought up a lot at all really, is the fact that this game still has the details. This is a very detailed game. Raven Software has always been fantastic with how they build their first-person shooters, and Quake 4 is no exception. Quake 4 is some of the best, from the ability to just go straight up action mode with its tank levels and mech levels, to its ability to just kind of pause the action and really go very slow through its level trudging, to the fun as hell being stuck in those linear levels and just kicking ass, Strogg ass, and it's so good, right? It makes you feel like a man. Oh, good shit, man. It makes you feel so. It makes me feel so good. I wish I had more guns to hold to shoot the shit out of. Yeah, you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. One of the details it really gave me was, and this is just amazing in itself, is you get bullet holes when you shoot the enemies, which is great, you know, it's cool, but what's great is when you shoot them, you see the bullet hole, but you see the flesh get exploded everywhere, and you're like, that's cool, but then for every single weapon you have, different flesh chunks will come out. You get a shotgun and boom, and you're just going to see bigger puffs of blood and flesh being shown. if you get a railgun, your whole entire body is just going to blow up, and it is wonderful. Same with a shotgun, same with a black hole gun, which is basically the BFG. You get so many great returning weapons, and they're all imaginative and they're all well done. The only downside is that, like I said before, throughout the game, they only get upgraded from elements in the story, where I felt like it would have been better if we had like a side bit where you could upgrade them yourself while on the Hannibal, which would have been pretty cool. But hey, again, for its time, you kind of got to see this coming, which is why I kind of wish we had a remaster where it's like, yep, you can do a new game plus. That would have been amazing. Multiplayer is the same as before. It's the same as Quake 3. Nothing too bad there, but by going by the single player, it is fun. It is over the top at times. It is a good mix of that action movie love, that Starship Troopers insanity, and that very dark, gothic, very much alien-esque, slow trudging through a level. And it does it all really, really well. I have no issues at all with this game, really, other than small little hits and dits. In the end, Quake 4 is a game that I highly recommend that you should play. And while, yes, it's not the easiest game to get, it's not the easiest game to play, and if you run on a 360, it's a bit slow, PC is the way to go. But it is nostalgic, it is fun, and it is well done, and by the gods, we need another Quake game. And while the remasters came out for 1 and 2 recently, give me a Quake 3, or hopefully a Quake 4 as well, because it is a game that should not be forgotten. It is a game that deserves to be on the pedestals with Quake 1, 2, 3. It isn't the best Quake game in the world, but it is solid, wonderful, and amazing. And as a big fan of sci-fi, Star Trek, Starship Troopers, it gave me a really good, warm, heartfelt feeling every time I play it. So sit back, relax, and kill some Strog. Aussie Viking out. Bye.